Happy Thursday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Yesterday, we talked about this phenomenon that's happening, this war between Wall Street and the hedge funds and WallStreetBets and these Reddit investors that are just rewriting the rules of the game, but using the existing rules at the same time. And I suggested that this is slowly leaking its way into altcoins and cryptocurrency. Dogecoin was one of the targets of WallStreetBets. And again, when I say targets, I mean just one of the random properties and projects that they decided to prop up, now up 139.5%. And that's even down versus what it was before. I believe it peaked at about 2.2, maybe even 2.3 cents. So we're going to get you up to speed. If you haven't checked out yesterday's video on the topic, I would highly encourage you to do so. It's a little bit of a complicated story. Effectively, we have this war between Reddit investors and short-selling Wall Street hedge funds, particularly Melvin Capital. So we had a couple of, community posts on this yesterday. We also asked you guys if you invested in GameStop, which I guess was the seminal stock that was being supported by the WallStreetBets investors. Most of you, I guess, didn't hear about this story. So about 3/4 of you, or excuse me, that's 4/5, 81% of you weren't aware of what was happening at the time. If I were to bet or if I were to conduct another poll, I'm sure now this is across your radars, but a lot has happened over the course of 24 hours. I'm going to give you guys the rundown as far as the new press releases, the new demonization that the media is coming out and trying to implement here against some of these investors, a lot of slurs, a lot of nastiness. And then, as always, we're going to segue into how this applies to Bitcoin, altcoins, and cryptocurrency. So guys, if you like this kind of content, you know what to do. Be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. Okay, so as we launch into this developing story, here are the updates that you should be aware of. First of all, Robinhood is hardly living up to its namesake, supposed to be stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. It's kind of doing the opposite now, and they're joined by TD Ameritrade. They've now restricted trading of GameStop and AMC stocks, as well as is my understanding of some of the other ones that were on this list of investment targets. So that includes Nokia, that includes BlackBerry, Naked Brand, I believe, and some others. So Robinhood effectively is blocking out or disabling the buy button. You are now only able to sell these stocks. So for example, GameStop, GME, if you acquired it, you're now only able to sell. You're no longer able to buy it, which is totally rigging the system. There, is some discussion as to whether or not what's been happening is legal, but I don't see a problem with it. Yesterday, in the comments I was talking about, and even in the video I was talking about how it's so nuanced. I haven't yet taken a side. It was very early on. Now that things are kind of falling into place, I have no problem with what's happening now with this investor army out of Reddit. It's basically using the rules of the system to take down those people that are predatory financiers. So GameStop's stock price remains sky high, but shares are becoming more difficult to buy, which is ludicrous. Basically, as long as the hedge funds are winning, the game is fine, the rules are okay. But as soon as they incur any losses whatsoever, that's when things become unfair. That's when they rig the game against you. That's when they suspend the rules that they've been playing by this whole time. It is absolutely disgusting and reprehensible. And it gets worse because now we're launching into smear campaign territory. BusinessInsider.com here. Just a textbook repository of fake news. So we cover them sometimes because the mentions are important, but they're horrible journalists. Discord bans r/WallStreetBets server over hate speech. Is that what it is now? Hate speech. I see. As the group drives GameStop shares through the roof. So when the plebs get together and when the rabble kind of commune and play by the rules of the hedge funds, but beat them at their own game, any communication to that effect is hate speech. I see how it works, and I suspect you're also beginning to see how it works. The game is fine, again, so long as the bigwigs, so long as the aristocracy is winning. As soon as that is flipped on its head, then of course it becomes hate speech. The rules have to be modified, if not suspended entirely. It gets even worse, believe it or not. On Time.com, revenge tactic. GameStop's massive stock surge isn't only about making money. Can you guess where this is going? They're now injecting political ideologies and attributing all kinds of hatred to this group of investors. No matter where you divine the source of WallStreetBets' anger, it's difficult not to see remnants of other, often far-right, meme movements. The reveling in chaos, the delight in upsetting a system, the pride in being inscrutable to mainstream media. It all reflects many of the alt alt-right meme campaigns that were used in 2016 to tout Donald Trump's candidacy. Now, we're not here to discuss Donald Trump. We're not here to discuss politics or that candidacy. But what I am kind of conveying to you guys is that this is what they do. This is the dirty game that they play. You start winning at their game, they smear you. They shut down your Discord server. They accuse you of hate speech. And that's not enough. They take 4.7 million people, by the way, 4.7 million people on the WallStreetBets subreddit right now. Every one of those is an alt-right provocateur, totally irredeemable. You guys are starting to get the picture. Now let's take a look at how this overlaps with cryptocurrency. Dan Held here. Robinhood blocks trading of GME and AMC. That's GameStop and AMC. The system is rigged, but what people are waking up to is the fact that Bitcoin isn't. Zero Hedge here. Did Robinhood just short their own IPO? Effectively, suggesting that Robinhood's actions here so out of sync and so polarized in an opposite sense to their namesake. Robinhood just did something that was truly despicable, basically blocking people, saying you can sell all those AMC and GME shares that you picked up, but you can't buy any more. And by the way, it's for your own good. It's for your own good because investors, at this mass level, they don't know what they're doing. So, the hedge funds, they're fine. But for all these people to collectively do the research, have this orchestrated campaign, and play by the rules legally to make money, you're just going to hurt yourself anyway. So better that we control the system in such a way that you can no longer buy. But again, it's for your own good. Nobody's going to buy that. Everybody's going to see through this. It's a thinly veiled defense right here. And Robinhood effectively is tanking their own platform. By the way, where I am in Canada, Wealthsimple is also trending, or at least it was earlier on Twitter. Wealthsimple is restricting all kinds of buy options for these stocks in question, for GameStop, for AMC, for Nokia, BlackBerry as well, which is a Canadian company. So a lot of people are also righteously upset with the tactics here that Wealthsimple is using. And again, this blurs the lines with cryptocurrency. In fact, it more than blurs the lines. There's a major, major overlap. And we saw that with Dogecoin. We'll come back to that in just a second. Tyler Winklevoss, this is the beginning of the end for centralized finance. WallStreetBets community, welcome to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and DeFi. We saw the analogy yesterday about how GameStop was Bitcoin, AMC was Ethereum, BlackBerry was Litecoin. Believe me, there's a lot of shared philosophy, I guess, political sentiment between these two camps, those WallStreetBets investors on Reddit and the cryptocurrency community. Believe me, we guarantee it. Documenting disruption here, documenting Bitcoin. They stopped people buying GameStop quicker than they stopped banks buying foreclosed homes in 2008. When you hit them in their pocketbook, they react quickly. There's no doubt about it. WallStreetBets chairman here, they can only control us because we use their currency. Documenting disruption in response here, WallStreetBets is one step away from discovering Bitcoin, and many people are agreeing with that sentiment. It's undeniable. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next shift, focal shift in terms of this whole zeitgeist right now that is emerging. And I commented yesterday, I think it's quite historical. It's unbelievable to witness for a lot of different reasons. Back to Tyler Winklevoss here. WallStreetBets does to the suits what the suits have been doing to Main Street for a century. Then one call to Reddit, one call to Discord, one call to Robinhood. Is there anyone out there who still doesn't think the system is rigged against the little guys? And my man Russell Okung here commenting, the Bitcoins shall rise. Quoting WallStreetBets chairman here, they can only control us because we use their currency, as we saw a moment ago. Russell Okung is all over the libertarian aspect of this newest development here. I really like this guy and kind of one of these unexpected heroes in this space, a la Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. Continuing here, Cameron Winklevoss. WallStreetBets was putting their gamatine in place for the open, and then Robinhood decided to steal from the poor and give to the rich. Again, the opposite of their namesake. DeFi, decentralize finance the system. back to Tyler. Remember when deplatforming was shocking news? Now it's just business as usual. This will be DeFi's greatest catalyst, and I couldn't agree more. Here's where the shift happens now into cryptocurrency, because I think at least unofficially, or I don't know, who knows, it may be lost in a game of broken telephone right now, but to some extent, in some capacity, Doge was also being propped up by these WallStreetBets bros. And as Binance is pointing out here, if you haven't seen the Doge chart, holy cow, was it ever something to wake up to this morning? First of all, the market on the whole is doing really well, currently up 8.5%, still under $1 trillion market cap, but not for too much longer, I suspect. When we take a look at the biggest gainers in these last 24 hours, Dogecoin is down a little bit from its recent all-time high, but still up 122%. So it's mooning as many of these other companies are here. And you can see it hit a local high in the last day of, looks like about 2.4 cents. So that's pretty unbelievable. Doge is still a multi-billion-dollar market cap. So for something of that size to move 122% is remarkable. And so this is, again, GameStop was that kind of gateway drug. I do suspect this crowd is going to make their way into cryptocurrency in one form or another. Coin Mamba here. I guess there's no other way. I'll have to infiltrate the WallStreetBets subreddit and convince them that Ethereum is being heavily shorted. I think it is being manipulated. There's an argument for that, certainly. Anthony Sassano, imagine selling Ethereum when it's still under its all-time high. DeFi growth is exploding and likely will continue to explode and to be catalyzed by what we've been seeing here these last couple of days. L2 adoption growing. Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is strong. CME futures is coming very quickly, actually, on the 8th of February. Stimulus checks are coming. Whales accumulating, as can be seen and verified on chain, and ETH2 locking up. ETH year of the ox is about to begin. Chinese zodiac year, that is, of the ox or the bull. So good luck with that to those that are selling ETH at the moment. And speaking of Reddit and speaking of Ethereum, we have this surprise announcement that kind of happened serendipitously given all the news that we're seeing. Reddit announces partnership with the Ethereum Foundation. So Reddit admin u/Jarens here with some exciting news to share today. Reddit has teamed up with the Ethereum Foundation to establish Reddit's first ever blockchain partnership. As Reddit continues to grow with more than 50 million daily users, wow, that's a crazy number. I had no idea that was their growth rate. So 50 million daily users and hundreds of thousands of communities. The platform has long maintained a decentralized ethos by empowering users to create, govern, and grow their own communities. Through this partnership, we will be increasing our commitment to blockchain, accelerating scaling and resources for the Ethereum ecosystem, and bringing the value and independence of blockchain technology to millions of Redditors. So certainly a positive development, but look, maybe it won't be too long before the media starts castigating, kind of the overlap in the Venn diagram. So those Reddit users that are also invested and talking about Ethereum, that's going to be the new alt-right, apparently, probably all of us at one point, because the media is broken, the system is broken, the system is failing. They can't keep the same rules going for more than a day without changing them to advantage themselves. But ultimately, I agree with some of those sentiments expressed by the Winklevoss twins that this is yet just a stronger use case now for decentralized finance and decentralization in general. We're seeing so many cracks in the system. This is just one snapshot of the news that I pulled up today, but across the board, we could talk about that for hours and hours and hours. So despite the smears that may yet come, this is a positive announcement. Ethereum and Reddit, that's a nice power couple right there. You can read more about it on Coindesk.com. Reddit joins with Ethereum Foundation to build scaling tools. The social media firm will dedicate developer resources to support scaling efforts for Ethereum. That's obviously very exciting, just at face value. But when you think about those 50 million users joining Reddit every day, when you think about every important, for the most part, DeFi system being built on Ethereum, this is just going to expose Ethereum to millions upon millions upon millions of more people, many of which will be developers. Many of them will be joining to engage and cross-pollinate ideas with other developers. This is how fertilization of ideas and dissemination and proliferation of those ideas happen. So I think it's the perfect platform for a network and for a system like Ethereum. And we have lots of other news in the space beyond what's happening with WallStreetBets and the hedge funds. Unfortunately, there's so much of it, it's going to have to be somewhat rapid fire, but here on altcoinbuzz.io, everything you need to know about the Adventure token and the Luna Fund. This article here by Ruma. The Adventure token, or TWA, is something that we're quite excited about. We have our eye on it. It's a deflationary community token. And in this article, Ruma will explain how you can use the Adventure token and Luna, Luna fund, and receive rewards at the same time. So using this article, you can learn about what the Adventure token is. You can learn about the Adventure Luna Fund, and we provide a user guide as well for how to get into it, for how to pool it, for how to balance it, and remove liquidity. In a nutshell, the Adventure token, ticker TWA, is a deflationary community ERC20 token, and the token is programmed in such a way that every single transaction, be it a buying, selling, or transfer activity, leads to the burn of 1% of the total transaction value of the token. And another very important term that is associated with the platform is the Adventure Luna Fund. And that fund is made up of 5 tokens consisting of Uniswap, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Chainlink, and Adventure LP token, or Uni V2. So the Luna Fund runs on the Balancer protocol, and the fund maintains the portfolio of all associated users and controls the Adventure token price. With every trade, 1% of Adventure tokens are burnt, reducing the overall supply. For more information on how to get into the user guide specifically, check out Ruma's detailed write-up here. Again, we have information on buying, selling, burning, liquidity. You can access all of this. We'll link to it in the description below. You may also want to check out this related piece on altcoinbuzz.io, also by Ruma, how to do yield farming and earn Adventure tokens. The Adventure token team has developed a DeFi dashboard that offers a yield farming feature. Users can stake their Luna BPT into the yield farm and earn TWA tokens. Engine is in the news yet again. Always positive news for Engine, it seems, lately. They're really on quite a run lately in a very good, very organic way. Here on the website, Engine, Metaverse ME partner to merge NFTs and augmented reality. I've really been on a high lately when it comes to NFTs. Initially, and this is going back like a year or 18 months, I didn't quite necessarily see the pragmatism of NFTs or the use case, but I've clearly been converted in that time. I think NFTs right behind DeFi are the most important emerging quality or emerging feature right now, class of projects, I guess you could call it, in the blockchain space. So this article by Deepika, this partnership enables the users to bring their digital avatars to life, wear and interact with their NFT non-fungible token fashion, share videos on social media, and trade these NFTs. So Engine and Metaverse Me are partnering to create a next-generation gaming experience for fashion enthusiasts. And according to the official press release, the partnership will create a line of tradable non-fungible tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. These Engine-powered NFTs will be a representation of clothing for Metaverse users' avatars. And furthermore, users' digital avatars can wear these fashion NFTs in the Metaverse Me app. So kudos to both partners in this new collaboration. You can read more about it on our website. We'll link to that in the description below, as well as on engine.io. Metaverse Me, generate your AR-capable avatar and dive into a new digital frontier. VeChain here in the news, announcing VeChain Sync 2, which is a revolutionary solution enabling dApp mass adoption. Sync 2 allows blockchain dApps to run as seamlessly as web applications across all operating systems, browsers, and device types. No installation is required. Alpha test for developers is now open. You guys can read more about that on vchainofficial.medium.com, announcing VeChain Sync 2, unlocking revolution for the entire blockchain dApp industry, enabling seamless user experience across all platforms. Kyber Network here at Kyber Network, the Kyber 3.0 network upgrade, new dynamic market maker, DMM, protocol and KNC token migration proposal were featured by Defiant News. #DeFi. Kyber overhauled its protocol and token holders love it. You can read more about that on the defiant.io. Moving right along here on this very heavy news day, we're on Cointelegraph.com. Major payments firm SIA, S-I-A, to launch DLT-based secondary credit marketplace. Italian financial services firm SIA plans to launch an Ethereum-based platform for secondary credit trading in the second half of 2021. You see what I mean about, all these, and not that this is a small story, but this is kind of a story that could get lost in the background. There's so much happening right now in these secondary credit markets, borrowing, lending markets, DeFi markets effectively. And this is not only going to grow, it's going to grow exponentially. We knew it was going to grow exponentially, but now it's catalyzed even further based on the developments that we've seen this last week. So exponentially, maybe the exponent on the growth was like a 2, so squared. Now it's probably at least cubed, or maybe to the power 4 or 5, who knows. But the exponential increase seems to be itself increasing exponentially. We also have this news out of Anarchy X. They've reached strategic partnership with Paid Network, which was recently listed on Uniswap. We covered that, I think, a couple days ago, earlier in the week at any rate. You can read about that further here on medium.com. Kudos to that partnership. Avalanche and Union are also launching products to improve DeFi capital efficiencies and product safety for all. Here also on medium.com. Lithium blockchain launches a liquidity mining program to reward LIT, LIT-USDT TRC21 to liquidity providers on LuaSwap on Tomo Chain's network. 100,000 LIT will be distributed proportionally based on how much LPs contributed to the pool over 1 month. You can also read more about that on medium.com. A lot of Medium articles here that we're not going through, but there's just unfortunately too much happening today in the space. Introducing the Litian LIT Liquidity Rewards Program on LuaSwap, courtesy of the Tomo Chain network. Litian's LIT will be launching its first ever liquidity mining program on LuaSwap, again based on the Tomo Chain network, rewarding liquidity providers with 100,000 LIT over 1 month. Matic here is in the news at Matic Network. Pleased to share that Superfluid HQ will be deployed on Matic. Developers can quickly deploy and experiment with Superfluid's programmable cash flows without transaction cost worries. Stream your assets on Ethereum and Matic with Superfluid. You can also read more about that on medium.com. Superfluid on Ethereum sidechains. Blockstream with a big investment here. They've bought $25 million worth of Bitcoin mining machines from MicroBT on Coindesk.com. The ASICs are set to be deployed in Blockstream facilities through the US and through Canada. Blockstream here on their website, that's blockstream.com. Blockstream purchased $25 million of Bitcoin mining hardware from MicroBT. Continuing right along here, we've actually touched on this the other day, but from another source here on decrypt.co, a new $180 million Bitcoin trust just hit the Toronto Stock Exchange. I believe we covered Tyler Winklevoss's tweet. He highlighted this in yesterday's video. We took a look at that. But Toronto-based investment firm 9Point Partners, actually. They've launched the fund today following the biggest IPO of its kind. Again, $180 million US dollars. It's about 230 million Canadian dollars because our dollar isn't quite as strong. But that's great news here. You can read about it on 9point.com. Bitcoin Trust completes 230 million Canadian dollar initial public offering. And now they're listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, the TSX. Very good, very good. Okay, wrapping up here with a couple of tweets. One from Mayor Francis Suarez of Miami, Florida. The city of Miami believes in Bitcoin, and I'm working day and night to turn Miami into a hub for crypto innovation. I like this guy. I like Russell Okung, and I like Mayor Francis Suarez. Proud to say Miami is the first municipal government to host Satoshi's white paper on their government site. That's a pretty cool first, I must say. The first municipal government to host Satoshi's white paper on the government's site. I wonder if that's also been done outside of municipal governments, so maybe state governments, or certainly not federal governments, I don't think. But hey, if you've heard of that, let me know. Give me a correction in the comments below. But a very cool first for the city of Miami, certainly. And another champion in our corner in this space. Look, normally this would be kind of a front page story, but there's so many positive stories right now. We're only getting to it at the end of this video. Independent.co.uk, Bitcoin could replace gold as a store of value. Bank of Singapore says, not that this is, like a nothing burger, but it's kind of just news that we're accustomed to at this point. I think in the same way that, we were accustomed to FUD in 2018, 2019 even, we're now kind of accustomed to anti-FUD, whatever that is, euphoria. We need to kind of come down and really, with confidence, establish a term for anti-FUD, anti-fear, uncertainty, doubt. Whatever that term is, this I think is certainly representative of it. Add this Bank of Singapore here to the list of individuals, including JP Morgan, by the way, that are saying, yes, Bitcoin is a serious challenger and a contender to not only mimic gold in its abilities as a store of value, but in fact to one day overtake and replace it altogether. Michael Saylor here commenting, if you want the freedom to travel the world and live a nomadic lifestyle, you would do well to acquire some valuable property in cyberspace, hashtag Bitcoin, quoting here, or I should say linking to nomadcapitalist.com. So very curious to know your thoughts. In the latter half of this video, we ran through all of the positive stories that are happening at the macro level, at the micro level, the dissemination and the proliferation of DeFi. It's really crazy when you look at what's happening in the world right now of centralized finance. Again, how much longer until you, until myself, until this community is going to be accused of hate speech, until we're accused of being alt-right or alt-right adjacent? Like, it's just ridiculous. These are desperate attempts by a media class and arguably a financial class that, they're in their death throes, at least in my opinion. So it's a very interesting story to keep following. Let's see what keeps happening, but that's about it for today, everybody. There's so much happening in this space. As such, you would do well to follow us on all the regular social media channels, and be sure to keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Thursday. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but hey, you guys knew that already. Do be safe, everybody. Have a great Thursday, a great start to the end of your week. We do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.